In today's video guys, I'm going to be giving you all of the best settings to be using on Black Ops 6 when you get on the game. This includes graphic settings, this includes controller settings, everything that you guys will need is in this video. So first off, we're going to cover graphics. As you guys can see in the top left corner, I have over 400 FPS, which is crucial when you're playing an FPS game, especially one like Call of Duty, which is so fast paced. You want your game to be running smoothly, no hitches, no stuttering, and in this video guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve that. So first off, you're going to want to click on the cogwheel at the top right and come down to the graphic settings. I'm going to scroll through these and then you guys can copy, and any important graphic settings I'm going to point out and explain why. So to begin, we want to be playing on full screen exclusive if you're on PC. This is going to give you the least input delay. Make sure you're not playing on windowed or borderless. This is going to give you the best possible input delay. Then you're going to want to make sure that you're on the correct refresh rate that your monitor provides. For me, this is 240, so make sure you have this on the correct setting. NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, make sure this is set to on. Custom frame rate limit, you're going to want to make sure this is set to 300 in-game. In the menus, 120, and then out of focus at 30. You don't want your game running at its max capacity when it doesn't need to save your PC some resources. HDR, make sure this is set to off. Before we carry on with the rest of the video, the best way to test these settings is by using No Lag VPN. Huge thank you to No Lag VPN for sponsoring this video. There is currently a 67% sale right now with the Black Ops 6 release. There is also a 7-day money back guarantee if you are not happy. This works in the newly released Black Ops 6 to help you have the smoothest connection and to help get easier bot lobbies. No Lag VPN is so easy to install. The link is in the description and in my pinned comment to give it a try. Now you want to come across to the quality tab. Now to gain some extra frames, you guys can actually reduce the render resolution to 1080p. Of course, this is if you play in 1440p. Dynamic resolution set to off. You want to be using the upscaling, sharpening, fidelity FX CAS and set this to 95. DLSS, frame generation set to off. Your VRAM scale target, set this to 50. Variable rate shading, set this to on. And then for most of the settings, it's just pretty much low or off, as you guys would probably guess. I'll scroll through these and you guys can copy them. Here is on-demand texture streaming. Now this is a bit of a confusing one. You're going to want to make sure this is on optimized and set the download limit to off. Put the local texture streaming quality to low. Shadows are a big one. You want to make sure this is set to very low. Now you want to come across to view. Now come to field of view. This will actually give you more frames if you set this to a lower amount. Now I just prefer playing on 120, so I'm going to keep it at that. But if you want some extra frames, you could lower it to 113, or a lot of the pros play on 103. But for me, I'm going to stay on 120. EDS field of view, you want to set this to affected. The weapon field of view, set this to wide so that your weapon looks smaller. You want to make sure you turn motion blur off. Set first person and third person camera movement to the least. And that does it for the graphics. Now we're going to come to the interface. This is going to help console also. Here are my interface global settings. You guys can copy these. Now you want to scroll over to readability and you want to come down to color customization. Set this to whatever you want. It is your personal preference. I set mine to green because that is my aesthetic. My logo is green, so. But to impact the in-game interface, you want to come down to filter, color filter, set it to filter 2, and make sure you set this to both. To begin, it's only on the interface, but you want it on the world also. So you set this to both and put it to 100 intensity. This is going to make your in-game pop and make it a little bit brighter. Then here are the gameplay HUD. You guys can copy these, nothing too important in here. The only one I would say is make sure the minimap shape is set to square. This is going to allow you to see more on the minimap as opposed to round. Now that covers the interface and the graphics side of the settings. Now we're going to cover controller settings. 7.7 is currently the most popular sensitivity in the game, even used by the arguably best pro in the game at the minute, Shotzi. For dead zone, everyone always asks what dead zones to be using. They are entirely controller dependent. It depends on your controller. But for me, these are what works best, so you guys can copy these. The right trigger is set to 1 so that it doesn't have to be pulled down as much. and it's very instant. Now we're going to go to the aiming sensitivity multiplier. I leave everything on 1 except the ADS sensitivity multiplier. But this is 0.85. This just allows you to be a little bit more precise when you're aiming down sights. Aiming advanced settings, you're going to want to put ADS sensitivity transition timing to instant. Now this immediately applies your sensitivity, which we changed, the ADS multiplier, the 0.85. This is going to apply instantly rather than gradual. Then you're going to want to set the curve type to dynamic. This is the most popular aim assist type response curve. Everyone plays on standard by default, so make sure you change this to dynamic. Target aim assist, make sure this is on. You want aim assist. For movement, you're going to want to put sprint assist on tactical sprint assist. This is going to enable you to tack sprint when you move forward. You don't have to click in the stick. It's just going to do it for you straight away. And this is a new feature here, corner slice. This is when you ADS around the wall and your character actually leans around the wall. It's kind of clunky, but some people like it, some people don't. It's kind of personal preference, but I would imagine that most pros and the people who want the most competitive advantage are going to turn this off. Slide dive behavior, you're going to set this to hybrid. This has the least input delay out of them all. You can dive and slide with the minimal input delay. This is going to have the fastest response time. Slide maintain sprint. Now this is something you're going to want to have on alongside sprint restore. I'm going to show you guys in game here what this looks like. Sprint restore, slide maintain sprint. With these both enabled, it just allows you to come out of a slide, come out of a slide cancel and still be sprinting straight away. This allows for the most fluid movement in the game, so make sure you have both of these settings on. Movement advanced settings, if you come down, you want to make sure tactical sprint activation is set to single tap sprint. Plunging underwater, you want to set this to free. This is when you are underwater and you can jump out of it, and you can actually do a little dolphin jump out of the water without mantling onto the ledge. Now you want to come across to combat and you want to scroll down and copy all of these settings, guys. And that covers all of these settings that you guys are going to need in game for controller and graphics and interface. This covers absolutely everything, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, you found it useful, make sure to share with your friend, with your squad, and guys, go enjoy Black Ops 6. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.